Happy Sunday, folks. Glad you all popped back in again. So thank you very much for so many comments people have been making, and some of them are really flattering, and believe me, it can be a little overwhelming sometimes, the amount of comments I get. But I'm trying to keep up with all of them. So thank you very much for doing that, and subscribing and liking and all that stuff. But today is Sunday, and I got some time out before I got to go out and pedal my bike around and try to lose a couple pounds here before summer gets kicked in. So I want to talk to you for a minute about some trees and what I hope will be a rescue of some trees. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. So as you can see by just glancing around the layout here, there's tons of trees and lots of different trees. There are some that are just pre-made, bought, and unpacked and spruced up maybe a little and planted, such as these kind of decorative trees right here on the back of this building. A lot of what you see, especially in the yellows and the oranges and the reddish, brownish trees, a lot of these are super trees. If you don't know what they are, go to scenicexpress.com and check out super trees. That's another video for another time, and how to actually make them. So they were made. There's material that's natural that I found out laying about, such as these fallen down trees and logs, sticks basically out of the yard, dead trees, such as that and that. That's actually a plastic trunk there of a dead pine tree. So there's plenty to see as far as trees. Some of those pines in the back, and there's one that's leaning like really bad. That needs to be fixed, I think. But they're pre-made, bought trees. These ones are really nice. They're pre-made, bought trees too. They're from I'm trying to remember. I think it's called Golden Central trees, or boy, I can't remember. If I think of it, I'll put a note in the comments about it. So yeah, there's just hundreds of trees on this layout. Probably 80% of them are handmade. Go around. So anyhow, yesterday I did something different. I did not come down here 1 minute, which is unusual because almost every day I try to get down here at least a half an hour, 45 minutes if I'm really busy during the day doing other things. But so I do try to get down and do something at least every day. But yesterday I didn't. I went to Gettysburg, which is down the road from me, not very far, the battlefield, and did some hiking. And there's a nice little hobby shop there in town that I stopped at, train store called Gilbert's. A lot of people are familiar with it. They've been around for decades and decades, since I was a kid, and I'm in my 50s. So, but anyhow, I had to pick something up while I was in there, and I was meandering around and BSing, and I came across what looked to be wire tree armatures that somebody had, and at one time had flocked with and made to look like pine trees, I think. And they were stuck into a piece of styrofoam, so I got 19 of them for $10. So I'm going to see what I can do to try to rehab these things. And we shall maybe plant one or two and show you that stuff too. So if you want to hang tight, I got a couple ideas in my head of what I want to do with these, and I'll go over my workbench and show you what they look like when I brought them home. So here they are. I think they were squashed into a box. I think they are very old. So they need kind of reshaped for one. Then I have to give them a shot of primer and then try to reflock these things. Now what they're made of is, it appears to be, oh sorry, here, let me dig one out of here. Geez, I can't even hold on to it. Looks like floral wire. Hopefully the camera's not blurring it too much. Looks like floral wire that was twisted for a trunk and then twisted the whole way up to the top. And then the branches, I think, are, I'm not 100% sure, but I think they're old copper wire strands, very fine wire that was twisted around, probably maybe sprayed with an adhesive or something to hold them in place. But as you can see, they're kind of sad looking. So let's see if I can spruce them up a little bit. Okay, I just selected two, and I kind of worked their branches mostly back into place. Some of the more unruly ones that were sticking way out and I couldn't really do anything with, I just trimmed them off with a pair of scissors. Tried to get them back into the shape of what looks like an evergreen tree. The trunks, as you can see, are not realistic at all. They're just twisted wire. So if I leave them like that, there will be background trees where you'd never see it. And if you push them down, I'm going to try not to try to do this without messing them up. If I push them down, you don't really see the trunk and it looks like the branches are about laying on the ground. Could try that with some. This one, I spread some crackle paste around the bottom to try to give it more of a barky look. It'll never hold up in a foreground photo, but it might be okay for medium distance viewing. This is the material, crackle paste. So I just spread it around with a brush and tried to get it into the shape of a thicker trunk. And then I took them outside and gave him a shot of primer. It's a Krylon camouflage primer. I think it's called Coffee Bean. So that's to start with. Now let me see what else we can come up with here. These two experimental pieces. The very first thing I'm going to do, take a real soft brush, because I don't want to use a harder one and mess these things all up. But I'm going to try brushing some matte medium. If you see that Mod from Mod Podge as an adhesive. It's alright if it just drips down. I'm going to try to tease it down. Brush it into this mess here. There might be an easier way of doing this, to be honest, but I'm going to give it a shot this way. I suppose you could use a spray adhesive, but they dry so quickly. Matte medium will stay tacky and wettish for quite a while. So let me do that to both these trees, and then I'll go on to my next experimental step. Alright, they're all got matte medium covered. Now what I'm going to do is take this static grass applicator. This is the Woodland Scenics brand. There's a few other ones out there. People have even made their own out of fly swatters, believe it or not. Nock or Noke, N-O-C-H, is another pretty popular brand of these things. But I got 7mm green It says dark green. It's Woodland Scenics static grass. It's not really that dark. That's okay. I'm not really too worried about that at the moment. Turn this thing on. Boy, look at them fly out of there. Got a nice charge. In fact, it's sticking to my lamp. All right, let me just shake this stuff on here. Give these a good coating. Whoa, get out of there, cord. One thing with these things, the cords can be kind of a pain in the kazoo. A good shake. Try to coat these whole things every which way. That's why I use a newspaper to reclaim all the stuff that falls off. I might want to put a little more on here, but I'm almost out in my applicator. But let me show you at least what we got going on so far. I'll try to bring this up so you can see it a little more. Yeah, I'm going to need more on here. Maybe that's a little better. You can see there's still a lot of matte medium showing through. So I'll try to cover all that up. So hopefully that'll come out all right on the video. If it doesn't, I'll take some photos. It'll definitely show you a little better. Alrighty, got these on there. Next step, we're going to use what every girl in the 80s kept this company in business with. Aquanet Extra Super Hold Professional Unscented, very important hairspray. So let me give this a few spritzes. So good, set it there a minute. Get this other one. All right. Remove this. Put down a piece of newspaper. And I'm going to take this stuff. This is not Woodland Scenics, I don't believe. But it's a ground foam, and it's kind of like a pine green, and it's very fine. This might be from Scenic Express, the same people that make the super trees. But don't quote me, I'm not 100% sure. I've had it forever. What I'm going to do is give this stuff a sprinkle. All that static grass did is give the tree a little bit more body. Sprinkle this stuff on. Let's see, it's starting to look kind of like I don't know, like a blue spruce color almost. Maybe not quite as blue. Who knows what kind of prototype tree this is. Again, it's trial by error here, just an experiment. See if we can fix these things up. Give it a shake. Very thick. I don't know. It's not super awesome. It's a good background tree. I'm pretty sure that's what this will end up being. Nothing you want up in your foreground, but it'll from a distance, it's definitely going to blend in nice with your backdrop and with other trees. A little more in there. I'm going to come back in with this hairspray. Give it another little coat. And that should affix it forever. Try the same thing with this one. This is a little better shape. That one was kind of an annoying one. I think somebody stepped on it. Not too bad, huh? That's all right. I've seen worse. Seen better, too. For $10 and 19 of these, I mean, that's fine for filling in backgrounds on your scenery, on your layout. Doesn't take long to do. All right, let me take just a couple pictures of these so you can see it a little bit better. I don't have any kind of professional video camera, so it's just a phone. So let me go take a couple here. Be right back. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely background trees. They'll blend in the background. So that's what they're going to be. What I should have done is let everything really dry first before handling them, because I end up kind of mashing the stuff back down. Now I got to wait till it dries, and I'm going to try to straighten them out a little bit more. They kind of look evil, like out of some horror movie. So if you put two eyeballs in there, it would look like an evil tree. Halloween time. But you can see how that stuff sticks to it. And it's not terrible. But definitely not something I would want in the foreground on a layout or a diorama. So, whatever. I'm going to let it dry. I think I can get the rest of them to look better than this. So we shall see. Well, this one is much better, I think. All I did was spray it with adhesive and then sprinkled on that dark green ground foam and then gave it a shot, a heavy shot of hairspray. And again, it's not a forefront tree, but it's got airiness and you can see through it in spots and it's a lot better. So I think I'm going to forego that static grass undercoat. Makes the tree look too blobby, in my opinion, when you use that. Now, maybe it would work better with a 2mm static grass. But I don't have any. At least none that's... I have like a light, really light green 2mm, and I don't want to use that. But 7mm, nah. Maybe 4mm even would be better. Don't have any of that either. But yeah, that came out okay. So maybe I'll do the rest of them just like this. Let me plant a couple of these. I already pre-drilled a couple little holes. I don't have a styrofoam base under here, so I gotta poke little holes, put a drop or two of glue in them, and put the tree down in it. So I picked out 3 trees. I'll put one there. Oops, sorry. Let's put a smaller one there. And we'll put another one. If I can find the hole. There it is. Right there. Straighten them up a little bit. Straighten that one up a little bit. Okay. Just going to let them sit there and dry. This one got to go back a tad. All right. An artist one time told me that trees look more realistic in groups of odd numbers. So a single solitary tree like that one there looks fine. 3. I could do 5. I could do 7, 9, whatever. But some of them, for some reason, when you put, say, just 2, not that it doesn't happen in nature, because it does, but if I would put 2 there, it wouldn't quite look as good as if having 3. And I tend to agree, and I'm not sure why that is. I think it's something subconscious. So I just put 3 trees there, 3 different heights, just for the heck of it. So that's it. All right, well, the first part of this video, you can pretty much disregard because that was an abject failure. I keep it real. If I try something and do it on camera and it's a failure, well, I'll post it anyhow. Those 2 weird trees I made, they can just, I'll stick them back behind some other trees in the background somewhere. Help fill in a little spot. You'll never know how ridiculous they look. So, with that, I'm going to leave you. Because I got more rocks to make. I'm making lots and lots of rocks, like what's on the hillside behind there. So, with that, have a great Sunday, whatever's left of it. I'm going to pour some plaster and go sit on the deck and enjoy a beer while I can in March in Pennsylvania. Unusual, but if I can do it and not freeze to death, I'm going to do it. So you guys, thank you very much for subscribing, hitting that like button, leave me any comments, and I'll catch you on the next one.